just from one fall mini session blog post, I was like booked out. I was turning people down. My fall minis booked out, but it was like bringing in traffic for my regular sessions as well. Like, it was awesome.
Hey, boudoir photographers! Are you ready to be totally booked out with high-paying clients? I'm Tracy Lynn, and I went from side hustle photographer to running $1 million boudoir photography business, working just 30 hours a month. That's right, just 30 hours a month. On this podcast, I tell you how I did it and how you can too. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I am so excited to introduce Marcella of Love and Sunshine Photography in Calgary, Alberta. She's a lifestyle photographer and the sweetest soul with the most beautiful family. And I'm very excited to chat with her today because she's booking out her schedule with clients from Google. She's using my blog and content strategy that I teach in my program Forever Booked Out, and I'll link that in the show notes. And it's booking out her schedule with amazing clients. She says it later in the episode, but the clients she's booking with Google are amazing, like so good. They have their credit card out and they are ready to pay her. That's the kind of clients we all want, right? And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Take me back to 2 years ago. What was it like trying to find and book clients in your business? What platforms were you using? What was working? What wasn't working? Like those kind of things. Like take me back to where you were before we start working together.
Okay, well, 2 years ago, I was actually just starting my business and I had zero clue how to bring clients in. Like, I was basically just posting pretty pictures of model calls and
Right.
and that was just on Instagram. Like, I didn't use
Mm-hmm.
anything else. I was doing free sessions. I had no idea what I was
Yep.
supposed to do.
And we all start somewhere, so that is totally fair,
Yeah,
for sure. So were you very booked out or
not at all. Like,
how
I
did
was basically like giving away free sessions just to make it seem like I was booked out. I had no idea how to get actual paying clients. I think I
Yep.
had the busy fall season. I think I had 2 paying clients, which is great.
Yep.
In a busy fall season, that is like absolutely nothing.
Right. So like, do you want to tell everyone where you were last year? We're going to get there, but let's just give them a hint.
Where I was last year? Not last.
Didn't you book out last fall?
Yes, I did because I started
Mm-hmm.
working with you right after I started my business, and
Mm-hmm.
I had like obviously learned some things from you.
Uh-huh.
And
Right.
blogging and SEO was like a huge thing that I took from our time
Mm-hmm.
together. And just from one fall mini session blog post, I was like booked out. I was turning people down. My fall minis booked out, but it was like bringing in traffic for my regular sessions as well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was awesome.
That
Oh,
is
I
so
was getting
exciting.
married, so it was like a really wild season.
Yes, but worth it. You worked so hard for it, so it was exciting when it happened.
Yeah.
So if I Googled your name 2 years ago, what page would you have been on
I would
in Google?
I would
Nowhere?
been like anywhere I think I had just put a website up and it was like I had no idea what SEO was, or I was just like kind of copying others' ideas and like putting my own words
Mhm.
in, but like I had no idea.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to say to the audience, if you guys are listening here and you're thinking, well, that sounds familiar, I've definitely been there. I want you guys to know that we all start somewhere. We just don't want to stay in this position. So, that being said, let's talk specifically about how you started ranking on Google. Like, what was your step one to ranking?
My step one was hiring Tracy.
I love that.
And actually listening to her advice.
Uh-huh.
At one
Implementing.
Yeah. At one point, we like you set a goal for me to blog every week that month, and
Mhm.
I started to see like I used your formula for writing a blog, which is super easy to follow. Like, it makes writing a blog so
Mhm.
much easier. I had no idea
Yes.
before, and I started to see that like those particular topics of blog posts were like ranking, so it was like getting me
Mhm.
excited and like motivating me to do more. So then the slower season, like starting in January, I started blogging quite a bit
Hmm.
more. I'm using the formula still and working
Yeah.
on SEO, and then I just like I was doing it almost every week. But then I
Hmm.
decided to check my ranking, and I was like on number one for Calgary lifestyle photographer, and I'm like, oh my god!
That is so exciting. Like, the first day that you saw it, I bet you were, like, telling everybody. I know you messaged me for sure.
I was like, I mean to tell Tracy.
Yes. I was so proud of you. So, do you actually like writing, or what were your feelings when you thought about actually writing a blog post when we were talking about it? Like, what did you think that first day?
I actually love writing, but like I would make it way more complicated than it needed to be. Like
Mhm.
I was like, going back to college days and like thinking I had to write like some elaborate essay, but like
Right.
blog posts aren't like that at all. Like
Mm-mm.
your formula is so easy. You just couple of keywords and where to
Mhm.
put them in, and like bam. Like it used to take me like a week to do a blog post, and now I can do one in like under an hour because it's just simple
Yes.
formula.
That easy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep, for sure. And that's something that I see a lot, like, when photographers come to me initially, they're, like, trying to write a blog post, but they're making it so complicated.
Yeah.
Like, they're going back to college days or even high school days where we have to write this specific formula, but make it, like, sound really smart and use so many words and, like, so you're using words that aren't even necessary.
Exactly.
But when you write for a blog, that's a completely different strategy.
Hmm.
So once you got started and you started seeing the results, now what are your feelings about blogging, especially since you can do it in less than an hour?
Yeah, just like it's so easy. It's like, why not? Like
Mm,
you'd be stupid
mhm.
not to.
Yes.
But also,
Especially with the
sorry.
especially with, like, how helpful it's been for your
Yeah,
business.
like it just feels nice. Like I also market on Instagram, but like I obviously want
Mhm,
organic growth and
mhm,
organic like marketing to happen. And that's one way that I just feel like less stress now. Like I don't always have
mhm.
to be on our Instagram like 24/7 because that's basically what
Yes.
I was doing before. Like now I know I am getting leads coming in from Google, which is so cool. It's like
Mhm.
it's motivating too because you're like, oh, there's like something I'm doing is actually working for my business. So it's like it gives you that like it helps with mindset for sure. And like
Absolutely.
just
Yeah.
it's like a
Yeah.
catalyst effect, I guess.
Yes, that's so exciting. So, it's just like you don't have to the way that I feel about it is I don't want to live my life on Instagram. I put some of my life out there, but I don't want my business to have to rely on being on Instagram. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and I know that you feel the same way because you have kids or a kid.
I have a
Yep.
kid, I want to be a mom, so
Yes, and that's far more important for you, and that was one of the things, like, when we started working together, you were like, "My child is more important than my business."
yeah.
Yep. So did you know anything about SEO, like search engine optimization, for anybody listening who isn't quite sure what that is? It's basically how Google finds you when on Google. So did you know anything about SEO when we started working together?
I knew it mattered, but I didn't know
Mhm.
like there is some depth to it, but like it's
Mhm.
also easy once you like learn a bit about it.
Yeah.
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 Um,
It's really not that complicated. It just you have to basically fill in all the blanks is
yeah,
the biggest thing.
yeah.
Mhm. And now that you're showing up on page 1, how has this changed your business? Are bookings coming easier now that you're showing up on Google?
Um, like I said, I'm actually getting inquiries from Google, which feels pretty awesome because, like we talked about,
Yes.
I don't have to be on Instagram 24/7 to get one client. So
Mhm.
that's awesome. I have more time to do other things with my business and like have a real life with my family.
Mhm. Yep.
And then
That's
like it helps with the mindset for sure because you're like, like things are working and it like makes it work more.
yes.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah. Definitely more motivated for sure. So are you still booking clients from Instagram or is it mostly coming from Google?
Um, I'm still booking clients from Instagram for sure, but
Mhm.
I would. It's like grown. Like I was booking nobody from Google before I
Yeah.
worked with you.
Yeah.
And now it's probably like 30% of my leads come from
Mhm.
Google, which is pretty sweet. And
Yes.
depending on the season too, like last fall, I would say like 60% of the leads were coming from just that one
That's awesome.
post from fall. So
That's awesome. I want to focus a little bit on your background now. Can you tell the audience like a little bit more about you, your background? Like you do have the cutest little family. Why is it that you wanted your family to come before your business? Because to be honest, a lot of photographers say they put their family first, but really they're putting their business first.
yeah. I don't know. Like I worked retail forever and it was like your life was like you had to be there for
Mhm.
weekends and weeknights and that's like as a mother that's like you would never see your family.
Mm-mm.
It just didn't
Yeah.
work for me and so like one of the many reasons I chose to become a photographer was that like I could choose my own hours so I don't want to be like
Yes.
working, 15-hour
Mhm.
days. I want to be with
Right.
my family.
Yes, exactly. And has photography helped you accomplish that for sure?
Definitely, like, I have weekends and we get to go bike riding in the evening, like,
Yes.
when my hubby comes home, like, it's awesome. Life is
I know I follow Marcella's Instagram and her stories are so cute, guys. So if you want to go see the cutest little family, you should definitely follow her stories. But do you feel like the Google clients are a little bit better than the Instagram clients or do you see much of a difference?
I feel like the Google ones are, like, already committed to booking with you, like,
Mhm.
they see you, they like you, and, like, that's it, like, they're ready to book.
Yep.
Whereas the Instagrams, like, they have a lot of questions or I don't know, they're kind of like comparison shopping or budget shopping or
Yes.
whatever. Uh,
I like to call them tire kickers. Like, they're just asking so many questions, and then they may not book. They may
yeah,
just ghost you.
yeah.
Mhm. Yep. That's how I feel about it, and that's one of the reasons, like, for Instagram or for Facebook, I just turn on my auto message, especially on Facebook. I feel like they're worse over there.
Mhm.
But I just turn on that auto message, and if they actually want the information, they'll go to my website.
Yeah,
If they don't, they're just wasting my time anyway.
yeah.
So, most photographers grab a camera for the first time when they have their first baby. Is this how it happened for you?
Yes and no. I had taken I had taken journalism in school like quite a few years
Mhm.
prior to my son being born, but I used it just sparingly, like my camera. But as soon as my son was born, I was like obsessed with capturing every little
Mhm.
detail and like you just realize how fast time goes. And I knew by like the
Mhm.
time he was 4 or 5 months old, I was not going back to like work, like retail world. I was like, no way, I'm gonna make this like a career.
Yes,
And
for
so I
sure.
started doing all the things to get me there.
Yes. Well, you've done a great job. Has ranking on Google made things a little bit less hectic for your business? Like, do you have to chase your clients a lot less?
Like we just talked about, like Google clients are ready to book. So with that makes it
Yes.
easier. There's not a lot of back and forth. And then too, like
Mhm.
I just have more time to like do other things with my business and
Yeah.
be with my family because I'm not like
Mhm.
searching
You're working
begging for
you're not Yeah. You're
for
not working in your business. You're, like, working to grow it,
yeah.
and then you get to go spend time with your family. That's the thing. Like, a lot of my photography clients avoid sending off their retouching or, like, outsourcing their retouching because they think that that makes them less of a photographer when in reality, if you aren't doing like that little busy work stuff, you could be doing this marketing strategy and stuff and like really focusing on bringing in more great clients instead of like more of the Google clients that you're not having to handhold the
Yeah.
entire time.
Yeah. Exactly.
hmm So, one question that I always ask all of my guests: do you struggle with comparing yourself to others in the field? And if so, how do you navigate this?
Oh, yeah, I do. I think we all do as, like,
Yep.
photographers and artists, like, you definitely
Yep.
um, one thing you always told me was, like, stay in your lane, like, my goals are
Mm-hmm.
not somebody else's goals, and my experience is not
Exactly.
someone else's, so it's like, who cares what they're doing? And I have to, like,
Exactly.
remind myself of this because you can get caught up in it. And the worst part,
Mm-hmm.
like, comparison is Instagram, like,
Yep.
you go on there, like, you're comparing yourself to everybody and, like, their cat, and it's like
Right.
so the fact that, like, I'm Google ranking so I don't have to be on Instagram less is actually
Yes.
so good for my mindset because I'm not
Yep.
on there as much comparing myself to other people's work
Yep.
and what
And
they're
that's something,
doing.
yeah. I feel like we'll all always struggle with that because I've been doing this since I've had my boudoir business since 2015. And sometimes I'll get down on myself still and I'll see something on Instagram and I'll be like, oh my gosh. So,
It's
yeah.
normal, but you just have to, like,
Yeah.
check yourself, I
I,
guess.
exactly. Just like you said, like I say, stay in your own lane and
Yeah.
I unfollow photographers and
Yeah, I've done that too, like, people that
yep.
were really, like, making me tense, I just unfollowed
Mhm. Yep. And then your life gets easier.
them.
And it's nothing against them or anything. It's just like you got to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything else you want to add?
Just like I just wanted to say, like, business part of photography is so important. I realized that really quickly,
Yeah.
and I think I'm one of the lucky
Mhm.
ones. Like, you can have the
Yes.
most beautiful photos in the world, but if you don't know what you're doing with your business, you're not gonna book anybody or you're not gonna make
Mm-mm.
clients happy. So, like,
Exactly.
everybody needs to invest in the business side of things, and having
Yep.
a coach, like, for a whole year, that was awesome. Like,
Yep.
having the
It
accountability and just the direction and the guidance.
yep,
I mean,
for sure.
yeah.
I definitely agree there. And I mean, it's the less fun part for most people. I think it's super fun,
Yeah,
but it is definitely the less fun for most people. But it's also the thing that's going to keep you in business for a while, too.
yeah, it makes the most impact, so mhm.
Yep. Can you tell everyone where to find and follow you?
Well, I'm in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, so if you're here for the stampede
Yes.
No,
Love it.
but seriously, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. My handle is at loveandsunshinephotography.yyc, and then
Hmm.
also on Google at
Yay.
www.loveandsunshinephotography.ca.
Or you can literally just Google Calgary lifestyle photographer and she's number one.
It's true. And I didn't pay to be there.
Yes, I love it. I hope you all were paying attention and let's just go over what Marcella was dealing with prior to working with me. First of all, she was posting on Instagram and hoping for the best. I think we've all been there, right? She was mostly booking model call clients who weren't actually paying her, and she had no real marketing strategy at all. It was kind of like, let's just see if this works. That kind of strategy. She felt like she was never going to be able to build her business in a sustainable way, and because her family is her priority, as it should be, she definitely wasn't interested in building a marketing strategy that required her attention 24/7. So here's what she did to prevent this. First of all, she hired a business coach, me, and we laid out a marketing strategy that worked for her. That's important because some marketing strategies, they're just time suckers. And she knew that that's not what she wanted because her family is and always will be her priority. She was patient. She let her marketing strategy work without putting pressure on herself. And the third thing, she was consistent. And with blogging and content marketing, consistency is very, very, very important. And I have to tell you, I know exactly where she learned all of these tricks. If you want the success that she's created in her business, and if you want to book out your schedule, if you want to spend more time taking photos and less time marketing, SEO is the answer. So jump into my program, Forever Booked Out, where I dive into SEO and blogging more in depth and just content marketing in general. This is the way that you will be able to work less and make more money while you're spending more time with your family, while you're taking care of your babies, and while you're being there while they're in those pivotal moments of their life so that you can watch them grow up. I'll add the link in the show notes so that you can check it out, but I want you to know that you have to make a change if you want to see a change. So go ahead and click that link in the show notes, and I will see you inside the program. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sustainable Freedom with Boudoir Photography. Please be sure to rate and follow so that you never miss an episode. They drop every Thursday, and they're always full of super actionable information for you to apply right now in your boudoir business. Until then, make your next shoot your best shoot.